what's up you guys, it's Steph, and today we're doing something a little bit different. Today we're going to be talking about the Clovis Wolfe Manor. I remember driving past this place as a kid, your classic spooky haunted house that just loomed over the street. I used to get so excited just the possibility to glimpse this house when we drive past. When we would visit my grandmother and we would go to Target or the mall, we'd have to drive past that place. Some of you outside of Clovis, California and surrounding cities may know this building because it's been featured on several paranormal investigation shows, including Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures. This house always fascinated me, and for paranormal investigation shows to go to this location and post episodes from the location, it didn't really help my fascination. The night that the Ghost Adventures episode was set to originally air, I actually convinced my dad to drive down to the house, and we actually got out of the car and stood in front of it as far as the gate would allow, to try and see where they would put their X cameras and figure out just stuff like that. And that was really cool. It's the closest I'd ever actually been to the house. I'd only ever driven past it. So shout out to you, Dad. Love ya. This building has a reputation for a reason, however, and its rich history dates back to the early 1900s. The story of this mansion begins in 1922 when it was built as a private residence by Mr. Anthony Andrade. Now this place was fancy. It was 8,000 square foot. There were 5 bedrooms. There was a lavish ballroom. There were murals on the ceiling and even a swimming pool in the freaking basement. Unfortunately, all that cost and Andrade lost the mansion in 1926. It would remain empty for 9 years until becoming the Hazelwood Sanitarium in 1935. Under this new ownership, it functioned as a sanitarium that treated tuberculosis, arthritis, and even had babies born there. Up until around 1942 when ownership changed again. The building was now deemed the Clovis Avenue Sanitarium. From my research, it doesn't seem like much change in operations from that time period until we jump ahead to the 1950s. It was during this time that the hospital began to treat both physical and mental ailments. During that time period, they also built an extra wing onto the original mansion in order to accommodate more people. Unfortunately, as with many similar facilities in that day and age, stories of mistreatment began to spread. People being tied to their beds and toilets, people just lying naked in the hallways. It was overcrowded, understaffed, and they didn't have a proper working morgue. Unfortunately, that meant that up to 8 dead bodies at a time could be stored in the basement because of its cold temperature, and they would remain there until the proper authorities could come to pick them up. Eventually, the hospital shut down in 1992. New owner and man who would eventually give it the haunting name it now forever holds, Todd Wolfe, purchased the property in 1996. He turned it into the haunted attraction Scream If You Can. And for about a decade, the building's spooky reputation grew. Workers and patrons alike began to start reporting feelings of being touched and other strange, unexplainable activity. When the attraction eventually closed in 2004 due to noise complaints, the house's reputation brought in multiple ghost hunting shows and paranormal investigators. This helped solidify it as one of the most haunted places in America. That is not where the story ends, however, because the owner Todd Wolfe had plans to make it into a luxury haunted hotel. In 2007, he even tore down the remaining hospital wing that was built in the 1950s in order to move ahead with his plans for this hotel. Don't worry, no ghosts were lost because a spirit medium guided them from the wing to the main house before it was torn down. However, this haunted hotel dream would never become a reality. In 2014, the building was declared a public nuisance and not up to code, and was unfortunately torn down. Four years later, it remains an empty field. An empty gap in this neighborhood is a haunting reminder of what once was. I was devastated when they tore this building down. It was a piece of the city's history, and it actually linked into my own personal history. While it was still operational as a sanitarium, my great-grandmother actually sat with a man every day until he died in the upstairs of the original house. It's crazy to think about. Well, that's all I've got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this quick peek into the history of a house that I loved. It may not physically exist anymore, but it will remain alive in spirit. If you guys want to see more of these investigation videos like this, let me know down in the comments. Leave a like on this video so I know that you liked it. I'm sorry, self-promo. I would love to do a video talking about the spookier side of Clovis Wolfe Manor, because that's what really drew me to the building in the first place. Be sure to leave a comment about what other locations I should do videos talking about like this, because I love looking at the history of old buildings. I love learning things about places. That's one of the reasons I love paranormal investigation shows, because they usually go very in-depth in talking about the history and researching who was once there, what was once there, what happened in the place. Be sure to subscribe to be notified when I post another video like this so you won't fall behind. I hope you all have a lovely day/night, and I'll see you later.